President Joe Biden's called for the protection of innocent civilians in a phone call with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Let's go to Annalise Nielsen in Washington now. Annalise, good morning. The President expressed his support for a ceasefire.
He did indeed, and that's an escalation in the language that we heard from his phone call with the Israeli Prime Minister last week. But notably, he didn't call for a ceasefire because that would be much stronger rhetoric in the circumstance. But this is coming under increasing pressure for the Biden administration to act. This is their first real foreign policy test, and the criticism coming now from elements of the Democratic Party is that the Biden administration isn't doing enough to stop the tensions in the Middle East. They've countered that, saying that they've had dozens of diplomatic meetings between senior US administration officials and both sides to try and quell the tension. But this latest readout today shows that they are starting to escalate their response. The White House has said that in this phone call, the president welcomed efforts to address intercommunal violence and to bring calm to Jerusalem. He encouraged Israel to make every effort to ensure the protection of innocent civilians. The two leaders discussed progress in Israel's military operations against Hamas and other terrorist groups in Gaza. And the president expressed his support for a ceasefire and discussed US engagement with Egypt and other partners towards that end. Now, this is quite significant in their approach to Israel and what's been happening there, because we have also seen this dual approach with the United Nations Security Council trying to pass their own statement on what should be happening there. The US has been seen to be stepping in the middle of that and delaying any kind of statement that would be critical of Israel. You'll have to remember too, right now, there's still no Israeli ambassador that's been appointed by the Biden administration. They seem to have been caught out quite early on by what's been happening there. So this is a significant move by Joe Biden today, but no doubt there'll be further pressure for him to intervene if they don't see a de-escalation in the violence.
Okay, Annalise Nielsen live in DC. Thanks, Annalise.